Hey, Shalom. Yahweh Hashem, Al Shabbat to the brothers. Yahweh Shamar, Allah Ta'ala Hashem, Al Shah to the sisters. I'm priest and officer of 500 Yaquatcha under Commander Jenny Hanna, which is the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, which was established since 1969 out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Our job is to teach Blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians our culture, our identity, what type of God we're supposed to serve, and how we are supposed to conduct ourselves as a people. And with that being said, speaking of how we conduct ourselves as a people, though, we also need to understand that if we serve the Most High according to the Bible, and we claim to say we obey the Most High, that also requires for us keeping the laws of the Most High, what type of foods that's lawful and unlawful. Basically, what I'm saying is, like, there's a distinct situation with what type of meats that's lawful for our people to eat and what type of meats that's unlawful for our people to eat. Meaning that just because it's a living creature that's on the earth, it doesn't give us the right to actually eat it, first and foremost. That's just common sense, though. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's going to eat a diseased rat, or nobody's going to eat any living animal that's in the sewer, or majority of the time that may be like a safari, like a hippopotamus or a rhinoceros. So that's just common sense to understand that we're not going to eat those type of living things, though. So obviously the Lord is actually showing us there's a purpose of why there are certain animals available that's lawful for us to eat, and there are certain animals that has its purpose on the earth, though, but we are not to eat it. Majority of the time, though, they're cleaning the earth, or like when they bottom feed, they clean the earth, though, to keep that environment clean, keep the atmosphere clean. And they're here for a reason, though, so we could be able to live. Because without them, though, we'd be in a lot of trouble. So every living thing on earth has its purpose, though, but it doesn't mean every living thing is meant to be eaten or consumed. But we're gonna go out with the law, the basic laws, and then we'll elaborate on what type of animals that's lawful to eat and what type of animals that's not authorized to eat. Though they're unlawful, they're unclean. And when it's unlawful, unclean, you're not supposed to eat it, or you're gonna destroy your health and destroy your life. So let's start with the basics, though. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 28. Let's start at 1. I'm gonna start at Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 1, because let's get an understanding of how Moses was telling our people about why it's so important to keep the laws. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 1, it pertains to the blessing for obedience, right? We got to understand obedience, and it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently to the voice of the Lord thy God. So Moses is telling our people a long time ago that if we listen to the Most High and pay attention of the instructions that he's given us, right, and pay close attention, right, which means to observe, pay close attention, right, and to do all his commandments. It don't mean to just like it doesn't mean to watch, observe, but you got to actually do. We got to do the commandments as well too. We got to do what the Lord requires us to do. Do the commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of earth, though. So we understand, Blacks, Latinos, Native American Indians, though, if we obey the Lord and do what he tells us to do, then he has set us above all the other races and nations above the planet, because we are better than them, but we need to obey the Lord so we can be back on top. So I'm going to jump to verse 15, Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken to the voice of the Lord thy power. So if we don't listen and do what the Most High requires us to do, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. So, for example, right, if the Lord is giving laws on what type of animals we're supposed to eat and what we're not supposed to eat, though, we're supposed to obey that. We're human beings. We have common sense, though. We're not animals. We're not supposed to behave that way. If we decide to just eat whatever we want to eat and do and cook what we ever want to cook or boil up or whatever though, uh, we start receiving terrible diseases like high blood pressure or cancer or diabetes, getting your limbs and arms amputated because we want to eat unlawful foods when the Lord requires us not to do that. That's why it says in verse 15, there's commandments for that, though. I'm going to elaborate why it, um, and speak about it, right? Because in the Christian church, though, they like to say that the laws are done away with, though. That's not true. Let's go to let's go in the New Testament. That's it. But before we go to the New Testament, though, I'll just jump into the book of Malachi.
Are you on social media? We are too. You can follow the library on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, Blue Sky, and Pinterest. See a staff member.
Which would be the last book in the Bible, the book of Malachi. I think it's Malachi chapter 1, verse 4, if I recall. No. Shalaki. It's in I'm looking for the precept where the Most High clearly says that he changed not. He's the same yesterday and today. Mm-hmm. Malachi, what is it? Matter of fact, we could do Malachi 4 and 4. The book of let's go to Malachi chapter 4, verse 4. How about that? Just the book of Malachi chapter 4, verse 4. Remember ye the law of Moses, right? So um Malachi is saying to our people that we are to remember the laws of Moses during the times of old, right? We are never to forget my servant, which I commanded to him in Horeb for all Israel. So that's referring to you blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians with the statutes and the judgments, because the law, statutes, commandments was given to blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians, whether we like it or not, and we are allowed to obey it. So if the law, statutes, and commandments are given to blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians, it doesn't mean that we are able to just eat bats and rats and cats and dogs. No, it is, the Lord is absolutely against that. Right? I'm still looking for the Let me see if I can let me see if I can find that precept where the Lord says he's the same today and yesterday. He never changed, if I may. Where it says I change, for I am the Lord, I change not. The book of Malachi, chapter 3, verse 6. So people say that the Most High changes his mind about his instructions, his rules, and his protocols. That's what the Christian church will teach you, but that's not true. That's what religious leaders will teach you. Other different religions say that the Most High changes his rules, policies, and protocols and his way and his thought process. That's absolutely not true. That's not what the Bible says. So Malachi chapter 3, verse 6 says, "For I am the Lord, I change not. Therefore, ye sons of Jacob are not consumed." Right. So we're not done away with them. Because if we want to get technical, if the Lord, the Most High was, let's say, if the Most High did change his thought process and change his ways and rules and laws, blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians would have got done away with a long time ago. We'd have been done away with. We definitely would have been the Lord's chosen people, no more for sure. So that's not true. According to Matthew chapter 3, verse 6, the Most High has not changed. He's not changed. He has not never changed his thought process though. So again, when it comes to lawful foods, whatever the law has brought out for us to eat that's lawful, is lawful. Whatever's unlawful, you can't eat it. We're gonna go to that though. I'm gonna bring out one more precept to show you that the law, statutes, commandments have not changed, and we are to follow the dietary laws, and we are to eat what's lawful and eat what's not lawful, what's required of the Most High. I'm going to First John chapter 4, verse no, slack it. First John chapter 3, verse 4. Right? Whosoever committeth sin transgresseth also the law. For sin is the transgression of the law. That's what sin is. So if any black, Latino, Native American Indian decides to eat pork, shrimp, crab, lobster, or any food that's unlawful according to the Most High's understanding of the Bible, then you are committing sin. Then you are committing a transgression. Then you are disobeying the Most High. And by default, the Most High can destroy you mentally, physically, or spiritually, or all. You know, the the Most High can decide whether He chooses for you to live or die. I'll just say it again: the Most High chooses for you to live or unalive you. This is why it is so important that we must obey the Most High and keep His laws, commandments, when it pertains to what we're supposed to eat, what we're not supposed to eat. Now, I'm gonna start with Genesis chapter 1, verse 29, right? Pertaining with the food laws. Yeah, because Christians think they can eat whatever the hell they want to eat though, but they got it wrong. They got it all wrong. That's why a lot of our people are in the hospital sickly and with all types of diseases and diabetes and cancers and all other stuff though, and high blood pressure to the extreme because they say they can prey on the food though when it's lawful or when it's unlawful though, and then they find out the hard way they catch a disease through time from eating the unlawful food. So I'm gonna start with Genesis chapter 1 verse 29. And God said, "Behold, I have given you every herb." So right here, herb is actually meat. And when it's referring to a herb, though, it's referred to like a plant, which would be a fruit or a vegetable, because fruits and vegetables are meat as well too. But the type of meat the Lord referring to right here will be a herb. So you have fruits and vegetables that are herbs. That's meat right there. That's a lot. Those are lawful meats right there, and that grow from the ground or grow from a tree. Then you have another type of meat, which is actually flesh. That's in the Leviticus chapter that I'm going to go to a little later on. So this type of meat right here will be fruits and vegetables that grow from the ground. All of these meats are lawful. Fruits and vegetables. Every fruit and every vegetable is lawful for our people to eat. With that being said, these type of meats or herbs helps us properly digest our food. That's why it is important to eat fruits and vegetables. Right, right. Um, Genesis chapter 1, verse 29, I'll read it again. And God said, "Behold, I have given you every herb," right? Which would be referring to plant fruits and vegetables, bearing seed. When I say bearing seed, though, we know like fruits and vegetables have seeds. Because you can utilize the seed to plant on the ground so it grows as an apple tree or it grows as a watermelon garden, or a cabbage patch or a cornfield, from a seed, because these type of meats have seeds, which are fruits and vegetables, right? And these type of meats that have seeds, which are referring to fruits and vegetables, they're lawful to eat. They're absolutely healthy. And every tree, right? So, so like it, which is upon the face of all the earth, though, and every tree. So, like an apple tree, a peach tree, a pineapple tree, and a pear tree, you know, and the banana tree, right, and the which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for meat. So again, these type of meats that grow on trees and on bushes and on the ground are fruits and vegetables. Whether it's watermelon, whether it's tomatoes, what I'm saying, a tomato tree, what I'm saying, whether it's potatoes, what I'm saying, whether it's cucumbers, squash, pumpkins, uh, garlic, broccoli, spinach, you know, like all these different types of fruits and vegetables are meats or herbs that's lawful for our people to eat. So again, always remember, according to the Bible, when it speak about meats, when it's referring to herbs, for meats, it's talking about fruits and vegetables, and fruits and vegetables are absolutely lawful for our people to eat. Now, I'm going to jump into Leviticus chapter 11 and start at verse 1. And it's going to refer to the type of meats that's lawful to eat and the types of meats that's unlawful to eat, though. And it's going to be referring to flesh. These type of meats are flesh coming from an animal, right? Leviticus chapter 11, and we're going to start at verse 1. This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 11, verse 1. And the Most High spake unto Moses and to Aaron, saying to them, right? So the Lord was giving Moses some instructions, and Aaron was there with Moses, so Aaron can properly translate it and break it down to the people, the crowd, our people, because Moses had a speech problem. You know, like Moses was intelligent, but at the same time, he had and he was chosen by the Most High to lead our people from Pharaoh and them back in Egypt. But at the same time, Moses had a speech problem, and he had a brother named Aaron, who's another Levite that was there to assist him to interpret and to give him the breakdown of whatever Moses was referring to, given commanded by the Most High for the people to understand and for the people to obey as well. Verse 2, speak to the children of Israel. This is exactly what the Lord ordered Moses to do. And Aaron was there to help break down and translate it for the people to understand. Because we got to remember, though, Moses had a speech problem. Moses pretty much like stuttered a lot, or he had issues with his speech though. So he had Aaron, which is another Levite, another Haitian brother, to translate it and break it down for the people to understand better. So it's no excuses that our people did not receive this information from a man of God, right? Saying, these are the beasts which ye shall eat among all the beasts that are on the earth. So first is going to give a breakdown of the type of beasts that is lawful to eat and unlawful to eat, the type of beasts, right? Verse 3, whatsoever parteth the hoof and is cloven footed and cheweth cud among the beasts that ye shall eat. So when it's referring to a beast that has a hoof and is cloven footed and cheweth the cud among the beasts, it will be referring to like a cow or a steer or a bull. You know, I'm trying to think of another one. You got the cow, you got the steer, you got the bull, and what's another one? They had another. I can't remember it though. But okay, we go use cow, steer, because the steer will be a male cow, and then you got the bull, right? Um, these type of animals are cloven footed, right, and have a hoof, and they when they chew up the cud, though, they eat grass, right? They eat the grass, and then they swap they try to ingest the grass, and then the food that's already been chewed out regurgitates back to their mouth, right? And they're chewing it though. That's what the cud is, because a cow eats food a certain way, and a cow digests food a certain type of way too, or a steer. Like a cow would be one of the most healthiest, lawful animals to ever eat, though, because a cow has 5 stomachs. That is the reason why a cow does that. A cow is like one of the only animals that have 5 stomachs and properly digest their food, which is absolute. You know, I love burgers. I love ground beef. I love steak. You know, and I properly cook my steak, burgers, and ground meat, beef, and put seasoned salt in it. You get what I'm saying? So we know for sure that's lawful, right? Verse 4, nevertheless, these shall ye not eat of them that chew the cud, right? So now it's going to refer to a certain animal, a certain beast, though, that you're not supposed to eat of them. It chews the cud, right? Of them or of them that divide the hoof as a camel, because he chewed a cud, but divideth not the hoof, though. Because not now in this reverse, though, is compared to like an animal that chew the cud, though, like eat grass or eat hay, right? Eat grass, whatever, eat bushes, eat plants, right? Because they're herbivores. They it's comparing a cow or that has that has a hoof, and it's also comparing another animal that eat the same food as a cow, though, but it doesn't have a cloven foot, which would be a camel, right? He chewed a cud, but divideth not the hoof, though. So the camel doesn't have a hoof. He doesn't have the same type of foot as a cow does, and the camel is made and built differently, anyways. He is unclean to you. So a camel is unlawful to eat. The cow chew cud and eat cud, similar to the camel is. But the difference is though, a cow is built differently. And remember, I said a cow has 5 stomachs. Camel carries water though, but the camel don't have stomachs. Right, a camel is made and built entirely different from a cow. Plus, it doesn't have the hoof that's cloven. Right. So a cow is lawful to eat. A camel is unlawful. So remember that. Verse 5. And the coney, because he cheweth the cud, right? A coney cheweth cud too, but divideth not the hoof. He is unclean to you. You cannot. So the coney is unlawful because he has a similar diet or a similar type of way of eating the same way as a cow or a steer or a bull, right? But he does not divide it the hoof, and he's made and he's built differently though. So right, so he's unclean to you, so you cannot eat that, unlawful. Verse 6, and the hare. So a hare would be a specific type of rabbit, right? Because he cheweth the cud. See, rabbits and hares eat cud too. They eat the similar things that cow eats: grass, hay, or any type of vegetation, right? But divideth not the hoof. He is unclean to you. See, a rabbit and a hare runs around all over the place though. You know what I'm saying? They go all through dirt and all that those, and they made differently though. They just not to show you that they're unlawful. You don't want to eat that. So rabbit is lawful to eat. A hare is unlawful to eat. Whoever's eating rabbit, I suggest you stop. Rabbit is unlawful. Or a hare, stop eating rabbit. It's unlawful. Or the Most High is going to destroy you, give you cancer or high blood pressure or diabetes or something like that. And you're gonna be the one looking stupid. Right? Verse 7. Here we go, right here. Now this is a touchy one though, because a lot of our people are so sick of is so used to eating this type of beast, but they always make excuses on if I pray on the blood of Jesus is on me though, and all that stuff though. They don't have no understanding of the Most High. That's why you got to get in class under Command General. You got to get up in here and learn so you can know what to eat and what not to eat. So the Most High don't unalive you, so you don't die. Right. Verse 7. And the swine. So we can kind of pretty much understand what the swine is. The swine is the pig. Like a lot of our people has a bad habit of loving that swine, loving that pig, the baby back ribs or whatever, and the pig feet, and the hog moss, things of that nature though. The pork chops and all this stuff though. You know what I'm saying? All that is unlawful to eat. The bologna sandwiches, the lunch meat sandwiches, all that, any type of meat that come from a pig or a swine is unlawful, right? I'm gonna read on with it, right? And I'm gonna explain to you why it's unlawful. And the swine, though he divide the hoof though, because the pig or the swine or pork, they divide the hoof just like the cows do, right? And be cloven footed, of course. Yet he cheweth not the cud, right? He doesn't eat the same type of diet that a cow or a steer or a bull has, right? He is unclean to you. A pig is known as a natural garbage compactor, a natural trash bag, a garbage cleaner. A pig will eat anything it sees, whether it eats dead bodies, human feces, animal feces, whether the pig eat other pigs, whether the pig eats his own vomit. The purpose of the pig is to clean the earth on the land. They're not to be eaten. I don't understand. I don't like, and when people do learn that though, especially our people, what I'm saying, Blacks, Latinos, Native American Indians, I don't understand why do you still do eat it though. But once you keep eating it and then the Lord punish you and you catch diabetes, high blood pressure, and you start to get your legs and arms amputated, then you'll see what we talking about. It's the reason why we're not supposed to eat it. The Most High said, don't eat it. Leave the pig alone. No more pork, no more swine. I don't know how many times we got to keep telling our people this though. And our people keep making on excuses of why they got to keep eating pork and pig and all that though, when it's unlawful. He's unlawful. Verse 8, of their flesh shall you not eat. This is still referring to the pig or the pork or the swine, right? Or verse 8, of their flesh shall ye not eat, can't eat it, and their carcasses ye shall not touch. So yeah, right. The body is dead, though you shouldn't touch it. Well, any dead body shouldn't be nowhere anyways. But it's also talking about the carcass. The carcass would be like a dead body or a dead corpse, whether it's a human or an animal. Ye shall not touch. They are unclean to you, right? Verse 9, these shall ye eat of all that are in the waters. Now it's going to refer to animals that are in the waters. So we go find out to see if it's lawful to eat shrimp, crab, lobster, or you can't eat it. We go find out what type of animals that's only lawful to eat in the waters according to the Most High. Right? Verse 9, these shall you eat of all that are in the waters, whatsoever have fins and scales in the waters. So that means for you brothers and sisters that love that tuna, you know what I'm saying? Tuna is unlawful. Because of course the tuna will have fins, but it doesn't have scales. The tuna meat is too smooth. So you can't eat it. Shark meat is too smooth. Dolphin meat is too smooth. Well, dolphin is actually a mammal. You ain't supposed to eat it knowing. It's a dolphin, the whale, those are mammals. But you know, the white man tends to eat anything and everything. Though we know white man will eat a whale, they eat dolphin, and they eat damn near anything and everything. Though, which is crazy. You know, which you know that's why in blacks, Latino American Indians, we are supposed to conduct ourselves a certain way. We're not animals like these oppressors, because an animal would pretty much eat anything and everything, but we're not them. You know, so whatsoever have fins and scales in the waters and the seas and in the rivers, then ye shall eat them. So you know what I'm saying, whether it's a fish, these specific fish must have both fins and scales, whether it's in the ocean, whether it's in the sea, whether it's in the lake, whether it's in the rivers, whether it's in the pond, whether it's salt water, whether it's fresh water. The fish must have both fins and scales. So tuna's out the picture. Tuna's unlawful. Shark meat is unlawful. It's too smooth. Right. You know, the meat is too smooth. It must have both fins and scales. Right. So that crab, shrimp, and lobster, you know, you cannot eat it. It's unlawful. It doesn't have fins. It doesn't have scales. And then that crab, shrimp, and lobster bottom feeds, right? It cleans all the feces and all the garbage and all the other nasty things from the ocean floor or from the sea floor or from the lake floor or from the river floor or from the pond floor. Any filter feeding animal, you know, because you could have filter feeding animals um in the pond or in the river as well too. But then we know we got saltwater filter feeding animals like shrimp, crab, and lobster in the seas or in the oceans. Right. Their purpose is to clean all the feces and all the garbage and all the nasty, filthy things from the ocean floors or from the sea floors. And like with freshwater animals, you got filter feeding animals to clean the water's there, because without these animals, the water be contaminated and dirty, and we can lose our life from that. We can't afford to be in no dirty water. We have to drink the same water that these animals are swimming in and cleaning. Though we drink this water, we got to use this water to to take a shower, take a bath. We got to use the same water that these animals live in. And like I said before, all these different animals um, that I mentioned has its purpose on this earth. Everything's not meant to be eaten though. See, the white man to eat anything, everything. That's the problem. And shout out to Eric Carroll, right? Pork chops, red ears, right? All the other nasty stuff though. No crabs, no shrimp, lobsters, right? Because like I said before, Eric Carroll, um, those animals has its purpose. Their purpose is to clean the water, filter the water, keep it clean. Because the same water that's in the oceans, the seas, the lakes, the ponds, and the rivers, though, when I'm comparing like salt water and fresh water, all those different waters, we need that water. We need that water to drink. We need that water to swim in. We need that water to wash up in. We need to utilize that water in every form of manner. And it's the same thing what I was referring with the pig. You know what I said? We need an animal to naturally clean up the garbage. Common sense. You know, it's not meant to be eating. Same thing with a hippopotamus though. They have a purpose to be there. A hippopotamus do certain things to make the water and the soil clean. It's something. It's certain things that certain animals do to keep the environment clean. You know, we got to remember the Most High is smarter than any man of the flesh on this earth. To us, to the Most High, we stupid compared to the Most High's intelligence stuff. So it's why we got to follow along with the Most High is saying and what the men of the Lord are bringing out. Right. Verse 10, and all that have not fins nor scales in the seas and the rivers of all that move in the water and of any living thing which is in the waters, they shall be an abomination to you. Like I said before, salmon is lawful, trout is lawful. Any fish that have both fins and fins and scales is lawful to you. And I'm gonna say it again. Tuna is unlawful because the meat is too smooth. It's too smooth. Right. Shark meat is unlawful. And dolphin is unlawful, whale is unlawful, octopus, all these other different, right? Anything in the water must have both fins and scales. Verse 11, they shall be even an abomination to you. Ye shall not eat of their flesh, but ye shall have their carcasses in abomination. Though. So across the sea, like in the beach, though, if you see any dead fish or any dead sharks or dead whales or dead sea creatures, though, they're an abomination, though. So you got to stay away from them. It's no different than a dead body on the land. You got to stay away from it, though, or you're going to be unclean. So any dead animal, so a carcass is a dead animal or a dead body, and it's unlawful. And if you come near a dead animal or a dead body, you're going to be unclean for a certain amount of period of time. Right? Verse 12, what have no fins nor scales in the waters, that shall be an abomination to you. Right. Right. Anything of any waters, whether it's sea, lake, ocean, lake, river, you know what I'm saying, freshwater or saltwater, it must have both fins and scales. Verse 13, and these are they which shall have an abomination among the fowls. Now it's going to speak about birds. What type of fowls or birds that's lawful and what type of birds and fowls is unlawful. Right? I'm gonna give you a hint though. If that damn bird can fly, then it's unlawful. You can't even eat it. If that bird can fly sky high, as far as like it can migrate, for example, then you can't eat it. I got news. You can't eat it. It's unlawful. Can't mess with it. Right? We're gonna read on. They shall not be eating. They are an abomination. The eagle. So you can't eat an eagle. We know oppressors hunt eagles down to eagle, but they talk about eagles being endangered species and save the eagles though. And at the same time, the oppressors or the American mascot or the Nazi Germany mascot is the bald eagle, right? But they hunting them down, eating them. Good night. And the ostrich and the osprey, these other birds, you cannot eat them. They're unlawful. Verse 14, and the vulture, good night. Vultures are bottom feeding animals in the air. We see in the Animal Channel what the vultures eat. It's a wrap. Good night. Nobody want to dare to eat a vulture. We see what they eat, and a vulture has its purpose: is to clean the earth, is to clean the environment. That's why I can respect animals that bottom feed and clean, even though they're an abomination, though, because they're doing the job that we can't really do, is to clean the environment properly, keep the land clean, keep the water clean, so don't turn dookie green. You know, keep the air clean, keep the habitation clean. Right. See, that's why the Most High is smarter than any dumb man that doesn't understand that. You know, right? animal, every living thing has his purpose of banner. And the kite after his kind. Verse 15, every raven after his kind. That's unlawful. Verse 16, and the owl. You can't eat an owl, it's unlawful. Hell no. And the nighthawk, and the cuckoo, and the hawk after his kind. Those are other unlawful birds. Verse 17, and the little owl, and the cormorant, and the great owl. Those type of owls and birds are unlawful as well too. Verse 18, and the swan, and the pelican, and the gear eagle. So these birds swim in ponds or they swim in water, and they got wet feet though, something like ducks, right? But you can't, but you can't eat those because they're unlawful. They can fly as well too. The swan, right, or the heron, they can fly. Verse 19, and the stork, the heron after her kind, and the lapwing, and the bat. Yeah, they're unlawful. Verse 20, all fowls that creep going up on all fours shall be an abomination to you. So that's referring to a duck because a duck crawls on all four and it swims. And also a duck can fly. So duck meat is unlawful for us.
Hello.
Chicken.
The Downtown Central Library will be closing in 45 minutes. If you need a library card or other assistance, please see a staff member. Thank you.
Salaki, chicken is lawful because a chicken can barely fly. It can fly, but it can't fly like a duck can fly. And a chicken walks on 2 feet. A duck actually crawls because a duck can walk though, but it crawls. It crawls like when it swims. So a chicken can't do that. So chicken is lawful because it can't really fly the way a normal bird can fly. You know, a duck can actually fly. So duck is unlawful. Duck meat is unlawful. So stop eating duck. Who's ever eating duck? And this referring to Blacks, Latinos, Native American Indians. Anybody outside of us though, they can eat whatever they want to eat though, because the laws doesn't apply to them. That's why we see the oppressors in other nations eating all types of abominations, and they're still living. We eat that though. We die. We lose our life. We catch some serious disease, and then we end up losing our life because the Lord did not intend for us to partake in it anyways or eat it. So what we talking about? Right, yeah. Let the Chinese people eat as many bats and rats and all other stuff though, because it's in their diet, and it's not to belittle them. That's what they do. You know, so that's what they do, and they tend to eat cats and dogs in their diet. That's what they do, and they call it a delicacy. Again, it's not a diss. This is just revealing what they do. It's facts. You can't. We ain't about to run and hide from what's going on. Like the other nations eat abomination things like bats and dogs and cats and rats and all other stuff and pork and all other stuff though. Blacks, Latinos, Native American Indians, we better not eat that. We better not do what them other nations do. We better follow what's in this Bible and eat what's lawful and don't partake of what's unlawful. Seriously. Verse 20, all fowls that creep going to all four shall be an abomination to you. Right. So turkey and chicken is lawful for sure. Right. Turkey and chicken is lawful birds to eat because they can't fly as the way like a robin or a cardinal or a duck can fly. They can actually fly. Verse 21, yet these may ye eat of every flying creepy thing that goeth upon all four, which have legs above their feet to leap withal upon the earth. Right. Verse 22, even these of them ye may eat. Now this is going to talk about certain type of bugs we can eat, and there's only but so many bugs that we can actually eat though, and they're lawful according to the Most High. But you don't have to eat it. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's certain foods that's lawful that I don't eat, you know, except right. Even of them you may eat the locust. So the Most High is saying that a locust is lawful to eat. You just got to properly cook it. A locust would be like a giant grasshopper, pretty much, after his kind, and the bald locust after his kind, and the beetle. You can actually eat a beetle according to the Most High. A beetle is lawful to eat, but you got to properly cook it. I don't plan on eating no beetle. I don't plan on eating no doggone locust, but it's lawful according to the Most High. So you can't eat it. You just got to properly cook it. And the grasshopper after its kind. A grasshopper, I don't know. Like I say, because like people is known to eat a lot of grasshopper legs, and they say grasshopper legs taste like chicken. But um, I don't have no intentions of eating no grasshopper though. You know what I'm saying? But according to the Most High in the Bible, it's lawful to eat grasshoppers. So grasshoppers, locusts, and beetles are pretty much lawful bugs that we can eat. You just got to properly cook it. I seen somebody eat grasshopper legs raw. But again, grasshopper is lawful to eat them. But me personally, I recommend is you should properly cook it. And then me, like again, I have no interest in eating uh bugs. I have no interest in eating grasshoppers, locusts, or beetles. But the Most High said it's lawful to eat though. So we can eat it. It's lawful. Verse 23. But all other flying, creepy things which have 4 feet shall be an abomination to you. Right. So other but anything outside of beetle, grasshopper, bald locust, or a locust, you can't eat it. So spider is unlawful, centipede is unlawful, scorpion is unlawful, uh, a whole lot of type of bugs is unlawful for you to eat though. But all these bugs that I named, but those bugs has its purpose on Earth though. Ants and bees and all that stuff, they have their purpose on this earth though, so that we live. Right. We just have dominion over every living thing, humans. That's what, and then us though, we just have the ability to learn and receive and be intelligent and build monuments and do things that animals can't do. A human can do, right. A human is a living thing though. So a human and an animal are two different things, right? Because a human can build build machines. Humans can build computers. Humans can build factories. Humans can grow crops, right? Humans can bathe like they normally supposed to bathe. And which for us though, blacks and American Indians though, like what I'm saying, that would be our custom anyways though, bathing and showering though. That's our custom though. But I'm just like make an example of like what's logical though, because in this society though, like they make it seem like logic and common sense is out of order and crazy and weird though. When from this society they teach you to come as you please, and if you pray for the food and the blood of Christ is on them and all this other stuff though. But yeah, through time though, you catching all these different diseases, high diabetes and high cholesterol and high blood pressure because you decide to eat anything and everything and do what you want to do, when the Lord did not intend for us to be that way. The Lord says out this Bible of what type of foods are lawful to eat and what type of foods are unlawful to eat. I just read in Genesis chapter, it was chapter 1, verse 29, that the meats that's lawful to eat that pertain to herbs will be fruits and vegetables. Every fruit and every vegetable is a herb, and every fruit and every vegetable is a meat, and every fruit and every vegetable is a plant that's lawful to eat. Right now, the other meats that I'm referring to would be like flesh or meats that come from an animal, right? So with regarding this though, there are certain flesh or meats from animals that's lawful to eat out of the air, out of the water, out of the land, and then there are certain flesh or animals that's in the air, water, and land that is unlawful to eat. Your ass can't eat it. It's unlawful. The Lord says no, no. And again, what I'm saying, but in this life, in this kingdom, in this empire, let the other nations and the heathens eat wherever the hell they want to eat. Pay them no mind. Blacks, Latinos, and American Indians, we better follow the dietary laws of what the Most High says. whatever the Most High says to eat is lawful, it's acceptable, it's lawful, it's approved. But whatever the Most High says out the Bible that's unlawful, you cannot eat, don't bother eating. We gotta fight that demon. We gotta fight that demon of the things that we're not supposed to eat. We cannot lean to our own understanding, because Christianity don't want to teach us that though. Christianity says as long as you pray over the food and all the other silly stuff though. Yeah, you could pray as much as you want on the food that's unlawful though. And the minute you eat it, and the minute you catch a disease, or you lose your legs and your limbs, or you lose your life though, then you see why. You know, the Most High is not playing games with our people. So we need to follow these food laws, these food laws, you know. Logically speaking though, yeah, of course, just about every herb, which would be referring to fruits and vegetables or meats that grow from the ground or grow from the tree. We can eat any of those though. And, but the meats that come from animal though, we gotta differentiate and compare to find out what's lawful and what's clean to eat, and what's unlawful, unclean, and 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 we are not allowed to eat though. So I pray we understand that though, so that we could be able to live. You know, we follow these laws on the type of meats that's lawful to eat, and the type of meats that's unlawful to eat though. We could be able to live. We could be able to have a better, healthier life. You know, I want to stay healthy too, so I'm gonna follow the laws of the Most High and eat the meats that are only lawful. You know, and then me, like, I'm technically a picky eater anyways though, so I was always selective on and careful on what I eat though, you know, and observe on what the hell I'm eating though too. I'll be observing what the hell I'm eating, so I don't get sick or anything, or nothing mess me over for real. So that's smart. That's just being smart, and not being a fool, and just like eating it just because it's there, or not preserving, you know. Especially if the if it's comparing, like, if the meat is lawful or unlawful, you know. Right. Let them know, like, hey, I don't want no pork I don't want no pork in this or that though. You know what I'm saying? If it got pork in the pan or the skillet, or in the water in the pot though, then I can't eat it though, because then I'll be eating something that's unlawful. Right. That's another thing too though. We want to watch on that though. You know what I'm saying? Everything don't have pork in it though. That's not true. You know what I'm saying? Every lot of, yeah, you know, the whole pork consumption thing, everything don't have pork, and that's not true. A lot of times they have like um beef oil, or fish oil, or other types of lawful oils in it though, you know. But other than that though, that's it for the laws on the type of meats that we are authorized to eat according to the Most High's understanding, and the laws of meats or animals that we cannot eat. You know, obviously, if the animal bottom feeds, whether it's on the earth, the water, or the air, obviously you can't eat it. It's meant to clean up the earth for a reason. It has its purpose. It's not meant to be eaten. You know, we're not like heathens or the other nations that's gonna eat it anyways and call it a delicacy. That's not how that works. The Lord is not with that. You know, we don't call we don't call something delicacy though. We follow what the Most High instruct and command us to do, so that we live successful and be successful as a people. With that, that's what on that though. I just make the quick security announcements. Imagine, which means to stand. ISUPK security announcements. Rule for new brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they're off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to learn and shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if the brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, they are to seek counsel from the heads. Tithes, which is the commandment. Numbers chapter 18, verse 21. Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 through 10 means 10th in Hebrew. Ma'ashara, 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the general or teacher, priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory, whatever amount you would like, upcoming holy convocations. So where we at? We are towards what's today's date though? Bear with me though. We are still in the month of May, and we are still in the Feast of First Fruits, which started since Sunday, April 12th, 2026. Count 50 days. And then the last day will be Sunday, May 31st, 2026. Right. Before sundown, Leviticus chapter 23, verse 10 through 21. Right. So we are still currently at the Feast of First Fruits until the 31st of May, sundown. Right. Remind Akim and Aquathim to check bulletin board in the hallway. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black, black boots, black shirt, black tactical pants or black BDU pants, black headband, black war scarf. With that being said, let's give a courtesy salute to the teachers, myself, men of Israel, Amadra, which means to stand.
Thank you.
Men of Israel, Amadra Shabbat, Amadra, Barak, Yahweh Hashem Yahshua Barakatah, Yazmatah, sorry, which means turn. Let's have Aquathim of the sisters stand. Aquathim, sisters, stand, right? Amada Shabbat, Amadra, Barak, Yahweh Shemar Alathah Ba Hashem Yahushua. Yazmatah, class dismissed.